Hello everyone and welcome back to Top Next, and today we will talk about the top 10 stupid and bizarre inventions that win millions of dollars. So without any break, let's get started. Inventions can either be revolutionizing or pointless. However, that doesn't define the market success of an invention. There are many inventions that seem too bizarre and simplistic to make, however, have made millions over the years after their creation. We have created a list of 10 such inventions that capitalize on novelty. So we will talk about this. Goggles. Have you ever seen something totally stupid that surprisingly took care of a real need? Say hello to goggles. That is a goggle-style sunglasses for pets. These seemingly bizarre actually do quite a lot of work. They protect the pet from the sun's glare while keeping dust, debris and wind out of their eyes, and is capable of blocking UV rays and assist in ocular medical conditions. They were used by US dogs serving in Iraq to protect them from wind-blown sand. Doggle LLC has sold millions of pairs to purchase at $19.90 per piece. The Snuggie. Snuggie is a sleep blanket that basically tackles the problem of feeling cold but not wanting to be unable to use your hands. Using a blanket limits the user from using their hands. Between fall 2008 and Christmas 2009, more than 20 million units were sold in America at a price range of $10 to $20 per unit. Magic 8 Ball. Albert Carton and A. Bookman came up with the idea of a psycho-seer fortune-telling device that sparked the interest of Chicago's Brunswick Billiard, eventually ending up as a Magic 8 Ball. The idea was inspired by Carter Smithers, who was a self-proclaimed Cincinnati clairvoyant. The final version of the idea, Magic 8 Ball, is basically a sphere that surrounds an alcohol and dye-filled tube that features 20-sided die stamped with varying answers. The Koosh Ball. Inventor Scott Stingler was looking for something that his kids could easily catch, and in the process he ended up tying a few rubber bands together into a sphere of strands that surrounded a soft rubber core. This seemingly simple invention totally dominated the 1988 Christmas marketplace. The invention was sold in millions, and after Stingler was bought out, the company that had purchased Koosh was sold to Hasbro in 1997 for $100 million. Plastic wishbone. The idea came up during an argument over who could be getting the wishbone from the holiday turkey, and Ken Hironi, founder and inventor of Lucky Break Wishbone Corporation, acted on it. Now, everyone can get a wishbone that tastes just like a bone, and that's where the magic lies. The company sells 4 units for a price of $3.99 or 400 units for $195.99 and continues to sell millions of these bones. The Singing Fish. The gadget animatronic fish was originally created by a Texas novelty toy company back in the late 1990s, and the company soon started making quite an amount of cash. The singing fish had become a quite fad during the start of 20s, and stores struggled to keep them in stock. The sales of this invention topped 1 million in the year of 2000 alone. Billy Bob Teeth. Billy Bob Teeth only cost $9.99 and it led its developers out of debts and made them millionaires. The invention came up following a partnership between a struggling ex-college football and a dental student. Has sold more than 15 million units since 1994 and grossed $1.8 million as of 1998. Furby was the hottest toy on market back in late 1990s, eventually fading away. It was released back in 1998 by Tiger Electronics and measured in at 6 inches height. It was covered in colorful fur and was able to play games and wiggle its body. It was promoted as being the first widely available artificial toy. One of the famous tricks it was sported was to learn English over time. It started off with a price tag of $40. However, its price soon spiked into $100, and in merely a time span of 3 years, it has sold over 40 million units. Tamagotchi, another invention of the 90s, however, this one simulating owning a pet, well, a virtual pet. Back when it came out, it was selling like hotcakes. It was the brainchild of Japanese toy maker Bandai back in 1996, and at one time Bandai stated that it was selling 1 Tamagotchi per second. Over 70 million units have been sold since. Pet rock. Gary Dull, an advertising executive from California, came up with means of decorating and marketing rocks as pets. He bought ordinary grey pebbles from the construction supplier and then sold them as pets. It was termed as the perfect pet that didn't need to be fed or cleaned up after. It debuted in 1975 with a price tag of $3.95, and in only 6 months, Dull was able to sold more than 5 million pet rocks, and equivalent to $2011, had made a profit of $56 million. Okay guys, I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to give a big thumbs up to the video and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching.